Hi, welcome to the Brief Book Reviews channel, otherwise known as An Old Guy Reviews the Book that he's read this week. So what's the old guy read this week? Well, the book I've read this week is this one. It's called I Will Ruin You by author Linwood Barclay. It was published on the 1st of August 2024 as a hardback here in the United Kingdom by HQ, which is an imprint of HarperCollins. Linwood Barclay, well-established author, well known for twisty thrillers, with ordinary people in slightly difficult situations. I'd read the previous book, The Lie Maker, which I enjoyed, and it's reviewed on the channel should you wish to have a look. Okay, less of the waffle cliff. What's this about? Well, the central character in this book is an English teacher. He's called Richard Boyle. He's known as a good guy. He wants to encourage his kids to he has this dilemma where he has a strict curriculum to teach in English, but he wants his kids to look at some other books that might not necessarily be on the curriculum. So he wants, he's a genuinely good guy. He lives with his wife Bonnie and his daughter Rachel. Bonnie's a principal at another school in the town where he lives, and she sometimes tells him that sometimes he needs to just leave it alone. He's always, he's helping neighbours fix their fence when he should be taking Bonnie out. He's helping out his ne'er-do-well cousin with money. He helps a former student who quickly skims his credit card. So, he can't just leave things alone. So the tale starts off where Richard's teaching an English class, and he sees somebody walk into the outside perimeter of the school. Doesn't recognise who it is at the moment, but he recognises what they're wearing, and they appear to be wearing what effectively is a suicide vest, a vest full of sticks of dynamite. He shouts lockdown. He tells the kids to stay in the classroom, put desks in front of the door, basically barricade them in, shouts lockdown. But instead of staying in the room, he thinks, that guy's walking into the school with dynamite around him. I'm going to have to go and sort it out. And he does. And it turns out the guy with the suicide vest is a former pupil, a disenchanted former pupil. But Richard manages to get him away from the school and out into the playground, if you will. But unfortunately, one of the sticks of dynamite goes off. However, Richard is a hero. He's saved everybody in the school, and he's a somewhat reluctant hero because he's just saying, well, I was just trying to do my best. The guy who he was trying to talk down before the vest went off is saying, there are people in the school that are responsible for his behaviour. One is a teacher called Herb that Richard knows, who can be somewhat strict, somewhat caustic with his pupils. The careers advisor, who, again, not necessarily the best at her job. And he also refers to somebody called the lawnmower man, and Richard doesn't quite know who that is, but that becomes evident later on in the book. So Richard obviously tries to get back to his normal life, and that's when the fun starts. He is a reluctant hero. There's pupils, some of them need counselling, some of them are going back to school. And it's a difficult time for everybody involved, both the teachers and the pupils, and of course the parents as well. Richard, however, soon finds himself the target of a fairly deranged blackmailer saying, I know you're the local hero at the moment, but I know things about you. You've interfered with the students on previous occasions. If you don't want this to go to the press, I want 10 grand. And Richard's saying, what on earth is he talking about? He must be getting me mixed up with somebody else. And thus we go into a spiral of Richard not knowing what to do. And should he get the 10 grand and just pay him off and just close it down? Because he'd had an incident before where he was accused of inappropriate behaviour, which turned out obviously to be complete nonsense. But he doesn't want to go through that again. So he's got this problem, and he soon finds out that there's lots of, not only have we got this blackmailer, but there are criminal elements involved in the town, involving, as always, chemical drugs from, how shall we say, south of the border. So, it's fentanyl, etc. So we soon find out that Richard finds out that there's all sorts of criminal activity going on. He's got this blackmailer trying to blackmail him, and all of a sudden he doesn't quite know who to trust, because a lot of people he knows don't seem to be who they are. And this is Barclay at his best. We've got an ordinary guy pitched into a situation which is completely out of his comfort zone, completely out of normal. And it's really, really well written. Richard doesn't know who to trust. Richard soon finds himself in danger. And we get to a climax where various subplots hit together. And, you know, there's a really, really will he or won't he make it type ending to the book. So I really enjoyed it. I give it 7 out of 10 as a typical Barclay book. But what I liked was that you feel empathy for the character of Richard. And Barclay does this very well, where he puts, as I said, an ordinary character in an extraordinary situation. So really enjoyed it. I'd give it 7 out of 10. It's another cracking read from Linwood Barclay. 342 pages, so not that testing. I read it in 2 sessions. I think that's it for this week's brief book review. 10/10 till we do it again.